Everyone thinks I'm wrong for asking my friend to pay for my car damages. My friend and I went to war with each other over car damages, but I'm the only one getting blamed. Recently, my friends and I all planned on meeting at a restaurant to catch up after months of not seeing each other. I arrived on the dot and stood outside the parking lot waiting for everyone to arrive. One of our friends, Sheila, showed up rushing after being 10 minutes late. She drove around the parking lot a few times, getting more and more frustrated. One of our friends who arrived early commented, "She never changes. She could have gotten a nice spot if she did." Luckily for her, the car right beside mine happened to leave. Sheila slammed on the gas to cut in front of another car and slid into the lot. But as she did, a terrible high-pitched sound became audible the more her car moved. It sounded like a piece of metal screeching against another. My heart sank, and I stood there praying that it was all in my head. Everyone got really worried, wondering what had just happened, and ran down the steps over to her car. However, Sheila hopped out of her car with a big smile like nothing had just happened. One of our friends inspected the car and gasped, covering her mouth while she looked at me. I immediately got the sense that something upsetting had happened and ran over to look at the damage. Several long white lines stretched across the side of my car. I took in a deep breath to try to remain calm, but seeing the car I had worked so hard to buy and maintain get scratched up by a reckless friend just pushed me. I looked at Sheila and said, "What's your insurance number?" She gave me a look as if I was being nosy and said, "Why do you need it? Are you asking me to pay for damages? But we're friends. We don't do that to each other." My other friends agreed that there was no need to ask for payment over a couple of scratches and told us to just settle things inside the restaurant. I shook my head and said, "Give it to me now." Sheila laughed mockingly and said, "Girl, you crazy. I'm sorry for the damages, okay? I'll give you $100 to fix it up with pant. Stop glaring and go inside." I rolled my eyes and said, "100 might cover for you, but not on my car." She shrugged, while all my friends asked me to drop it and just let it go. I told them that at this point I was too upset and was gonna go home instead. My friends groaned that I was making a big deal out of nothing but decided to just let me do whatever I wanted. They walked inside the restaurant, and I got in my car, thinking for a while. I pulled out my nail care kit from the glove compartment and pulled out the sharpest objects. I stepped out and started leaving scratches all over her car, including the windows. I tried stabbing into the tires, but it was impossible, so I went back and scratched up her car a bit more. Just as I was done, Sheila ran out and screamed, "I'm going to bury you alive." She ran to her car, and I rushed to start my car and drive away. She jumped in front of my car, holding a fork and spoon, trying to attack the hood of my car. I nudged her forward until she got pushed to the side. I drove home and inspected the damage. Luckily, her spoon and fork did nothing compared to the things I did to her vehicle. My friends later texted me saying that I was psychotic for going so far over something so small. Sheila even mentioned that what she did was an accident, while what I did was clearly deliberate. I told them, "A damage is a damage." She refused to pay me, so I just made sure she paid the same amount I would have to, just to fix up a more premium car. My friends told me that karma was gonna come back and bite me, so I told them that if it did, I would just find Sheila again and make sure she goes down with me.